Hi everyone, welcome back to FSX, and look at this beauty. This is the Mary Alice, a B-17G, and doesn't she look absolutely stunning? Oh, absolutely stunning. Let's just hop into the cockpit. She is looking amazing. So we're here, early morning. It's, what time is it? Oh, my weary eyes. It's just about 5:30 in the morning. Dawn is breaking, sun's coming up, and it's giving us this lovely, lovely sky. It is Presque Island. This is Kilo Papa, Quebec, India, and this is one of the major staging areas for the US bombers and fighters which flew across the Atlantic to Britain during the war. So what I thought I'd do is fly this and recreate that journey from here all the way over to good old Blighty. So yeah, there's a couple of reasons I decided to do that. A, it's obviously today, or this week in fact, it is the 70th anniversary of victory against Japan. I know obviously victory in Europe was before then, but to mark this occasion, obviously this aircraft was used in the East as well. And also, a couple of weeks ago when I went to Duxford, Mary Alice was one of the pictures I tweeted out, if you saw it, with the she had the chin turret guns out and being looked at. So yes, this aircraft is actually a static display at Duxford Air Base in Cambridgeshire. So that is going to be our final destination. We're going to take her here from the staging aisle of Presque Island. I'm sure I've mispronounced that terribly, and we're going to take her back to her resting place at Duxford. Now, a quick check in. No, not that one. This one, the hangar, will tell us that she has just been completely overhauled. So she's got 1.3 hours on the airframe, which is nothing. Engine 1's just been checked, so you can have a look. Everything's cool. All the engines are looking fantastic. There's nothing worn out or failed. No moderate wear. Brilliant. The crew chief is happy, which is great. So, with that done, let's start this baby up. Now, this sun's going to be a bit annoying, but what we can do is get rid of that. I'm trying to remember all the keys. Right. So this is basically your checklists, which is pretty cool. There's obviously avoid pivot turns, which I probably will do a couple of pivot turns. I will get told off by the crew and that kind of thing as well. But here we go. Here's our startup. Right, weights and fuel. So, oil and fuel are good. Should we just top these tanks? Oh, we won't need to actually, because the I'll tell you where our destination is shortly, but it's only about 500 miles away. What we'll do is, we'll come to that in a minute. Right, okay, so parking brake set, good. Flaps, gear and gear neutral. Now these are the switches over here, so I can go flaps neutral, gear neutral. You can hear all the click click click. Check each battery with the inverter on. Right, let's just get rid of that for a second. So the inverter is that, and you want to be watching this little dial here. So as I switch battery 1 on, good charge actually. Battery 2, good charge. Battery 3, good charge. That's grand. So the batteries are in really good state. They're not giving us the full 29 volts that we really want, but they are pretty good. So what we'll do, we'll ask the waist gunner to go and start the APU.
I'm on it, Captain.
And you'll hear that start up in a second. This sun. I should have parked it facing a different direction. There goes the APU. Sounds like a little moped. And you should see that spike up to 30 volts or 29 volts in a second. Any second.
Captain, power's coming on.
There we go. Okay, so the APU is now working. Brilliant. These lights tell us that we haven't got any oxygen on board, so let's just charge the oxygen. Brilliant. That's that sorted. Oxygen Okay. Anyway, let's go back to our checklist. Batteries checked, APU, we didn't need our APU, but we started it anyway. Check hydraulic pressure. Now our hydraulic pressure is 0 currently. We need to build it up to 200 pounds, so we can pump it. And this is going to take a wee while. So there is another way of doing this. Let's get a bit of pressure in it. Let's try and get up to about 200. Pump, pump, pump. Yeah, these aircraft definitely needed a couple of pilots. So we're up to... what's that up to? 100 or so. What we can do, we've got a little red switch here which we can just build up. Now if you've got headphones on, this may be a bit loud, so be warned. And you can see the hydraulic pressure now climbing. You can see the strain it has on the electrical pump here. So once that goes into the green, we're now in the green. Once I let go of this button, you'll see the power return to normal after the pump is finished. There we go, brilliant. Okay, hydraulic pressure, done. Open cut-off valves, okay. Done. And we'll stick that down like that, brilliant. Air carb cleaner on. And filter on. Cool. Cabin heater off or cold. We've currently got that set that to cold. Because look, you can see, because we've been sitting here breathing in here, we've started to steam up. So let's crack open the windows, so let the air circulate a little bit. I love it when the windows steam up. Sounds a bit weird, but you know what I mean. Cabin, okay, master ignition on. Oop, on, yeah. Intercooler's cold. Let's go over here. We know our good old intercoolers. So one of the other reasons I'm doing this is obviously we're going to be starting a new series of B-17, the Mighty 8th, soon, and it would be nice if I actually had a working knowledge of how to use all the flight systems. So that is why I'm looking to learn to fly this craft. Magnetos set to both. Okay. Boost on. Okay, so fuel boost on. So we'll do it 3 first, and we can watch 3. It needs to go. It's gone to about 8, which is fine. Mixture auto rich. Switch that down to auto rich. Flaps and cowl. So let's put the cowl. We should see the. We can just about see the cowl coming up from where we are. Turbo is 0, which is fine. Let's put that back to locked. Crack the throttle a wee bit. Brilliant. Okay, we'll come over to the co-pilot seat now. So what we need to do is crack or put that onto engine 3. That's the fire extinguisher. I'm just going to check. Okay, and we're almost ready to go. So let's switch that on to engine 3. This is where it gets a bit fiddly. Is that engine 3? My tooltips have stopped working. Can't tell, hang on. Engine 2. That one's engine 3. So this is the primer, and we'll just put a couple of bits of fuel in it. Into engine 3. We're starting engine 3 first because it's the one it shows you on the tutorial, because it's one of the ones that I can't remember exactly the reasoning behind it, but it's got I think it's more critical to the hydraulics. I could have got that wrong. Anyway, so engine 3's up here. We'll step the start. Make sure the boost pump is on. Yes, it is. Fuel is set. Okay.
Clear prop.
And meshing.
Engine 3 is starting up.
Sweet.
Oil pressure is coming up.
Brilliant. So let's do engine 4 as we are on this side. Again, we'll have a look down here. We'll give it 2 pumps of primer. We'll open up the cowl flaps. Fuel mixture to auto rich. Cowl flaps have opened. Lock them off. Booster pump, that should go up to about 8. Perfect. Blah 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 blah. That looks good. So let's put that down to. Gotta wait about 12 seconds.
Clear prop.
We do just want to crack the throttle a touch. Meshing.
Engine 4 starting. Oil pressure is coming up.
Brilliant. Okay, that's looking good. Right, so let's go back to do engine 1. Put that fuel, we'll put the, open up the cowl flaps. Cowl flaps are opening, fantastic. Ooh, blinding light all of a sudden. We'll stick that onto engine 1, fire extinguisher. Engine 1, give it a prime. 2 primes shots. Engine 1's here, so we'll switch the starter on. Crack the throttle.
Clear prop.
Clear prop. Meshing.
Engine 1 starting.
Brilliant.
Oil pressure is rising.
Okay, that's looking good. Right. Let's open up to the cowl flap on 2. Do a mixture to auto rich. Fuel boost pump on. That's gone okay. Switch the fire extinguisher to 2. That to 2. Let's give it a prime. And we've had this baby warmed up in a second. Right. Switch on the starter motor.
Clear prop.
Clear prop and meshing. Let's give the throttle a crack.
Engine 2 is starting.
Brilliant. Okay.
Oil pressure is rising.
Whew. Okay. That's gone quite well. Engines are now okay. So what we've now the engines are warming up. What I'm going to do is tell the co-pilot here to look after the RPM, cowl, and the intercoolers. So he's going to now manage the engines for me, which is great. It takes all the pressure off. You can see him twiddling with the old cowl flaps here and there. Brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay, so we've gone through the engine startup sequence. And there's a couple of things we now need to do. So if we go back to our checklist. Blah blah blah, crack throttle, RPM, set fire extinguisher, we've done that. Yep. Turn on generator switch. Should have done that really. Straight away, but that's cool. Engine 1, 4, 1 and 2. Okay, turn off the APU. Yep. Let's tell the waste gunner to switch that off.
I'm on it, Captain.
Cool. Head to page 3. So cowl flaps up, cowl flaps to a 3rd. This is for takeoff. That's fine. Okay. One of the things we have missed is to check the control flight. So as you can see, they're locked. So let's remove the locking pins, which gives us a little bit more movement, but not a great deal. We need to come over here, and there we go. And we got full movement in the column. And rudders. Perfect. Grand. Okay. Now we've got a little red light there which tells us that the tail wheel is not locked. Which is grand. It's exactly what we need when we are going to move about the place. So, let's switch our beacon on our strobe. Just letting everything warm up slowly. So a quick look at the old temperatures. They're climbing up. Yeah, we're doing okay now. We're doing okay. Temperatures are in the expected. Oh, look at this. RPM for engine 3, is that? Is a little bit high. Is that because the... that's because the throttle's a bit higher than all the others. That should drop down. You can... these gauges are not perfectly accurate. They will... so I know they look slightly out, but they're probably not. They're probably fine. Now that still looks a bit odd, so we'll keep an eye on that. Again here, you can configure your turbos. You set it to maximum, which is 8, because we are using... what fuel are we using? I think we're using 100 octane fuel. Yes, we're using 100 octane fuel. You've got a choice of 91 or 100, and we're using 1100 oil grade.
Captain, warmed up, ready to go.
Excellent. Okay, so we are good to go. So we need to get out of here. Let's have a quick look around. We need to go that away. Groovy. Or we could go that away. Depends which way the wind's going. So we'll ask for permission to... let me scroll that onto the other screen. Ask for permission to land or to take off. Okay, it's not giving me permission to take off, which is great. So we'll just do what we do. One of the cheats, if we click on the map up here and switch that on, it'll bring up the active sky next. And it will show us where we're going. And I can tell you about where we are going, in fact, because I haven't told you yet, have I? We are going to Goose Bay, which is Charlie Yankee Romeo, which was obviously the second point of their staging post. Right, let's take off the parking brakes. We'll give it a little bit of throttle. And to steer, you can steer via using the brakes and also the throttles. So yeah, that is your options to steer. So we're going to give it a bit of throttle, and I'm going to use the brakes. I need to turn quite sharply here. And I don't want to do pivot turns because they'll tell me off for wearing out the tyres. I want to stay away from those aircraft. Okay, we're rolling. We're going to head a right here, and we're going to head down there. I didn't go the other way because of the light aircraft there. I didn't want to clip them because this has got full realism on, so if I clip anything it'll end with a horrible crash. Okay, let's taxi down to the runway. Sorry about the whirring. That is of course the hydraulic pump doing its thing. There we go. The RPMs and stuff have sorted out for engine 3. And it's one of those things that we can keep an eye on. Depending on how I fly, it will wear the aircraft down. So if I fly badly, I'll put extra strain on the flight controls, the flight surfaces, and also the engines. So yeah, so we need to keep an eye out for that. We need to keep the RPMs at least above 1,000 to keep everything okay. Okay, we're almost there now. Just coming up to the last piece of the puzzle. Try and negotiate this bend. Kind of getting a little bit more of a feel for her now. You've got to use the brakes to sort of turn the tail wheel, and once the tail wheel's turned, you don't need to really, well, unless you want to tighten up your turn a little bit. Again, there goes the hydraulic pump. So sorry to anyone listening on. I'll probably turn the volume down so you don't get deafened if you're listening on a headset. Right, okay. I'm just going to throttle back. They're going to probably complain that we need to give it a bit more juice, but I just want to slow down. Problem is, if I touch the brakes, she tends to rock forward, and that can be not the most pleasant of experiences. So I'll just, just come to a standstill. So we'll just bring her forward onto the runway. That sky, it's amazing, isn't it? A little bit of differential brake just to give us a turn, and that stopped us too much. Okay, it's actually really hard taxiing this aircraft is beautiful in the sky. As I say, I've flown this. I've done one flight in this, takeoff and landing. Mainly, I've been learning, practicing all the flows and stuff. But yeah, takeoff and landing, and she was relatively okay. The crew didn't like my landing, mind, but that's another story. Right, let's get her lined up. And just bring to a stop. I just want to make sure she's taxiing straight. She is. Let's just put the brake on for a second. Let's lock the tail wheel. Excellent. So now we go back to our debris here.
Sir, we should add a bit of throttle.
Yeah. Okay. So we're idling a little bit rough. So let's go for takeoff. Cowl flaps fine. Lock wheel, tail wheel, all trim neutral. Yes. Oil temperature 40 degrees, not a problem. Set turbo to 8. Set the turbos to 8. There we go. Open up the throttle slowly to full throttle. If runway turbo back, if runaway turbo, throttle back first. Okay, that's difficult to read that for some reason. When clear of ground, raise landing gear, accelerate, climb 130 to 150 miles an hour. Sounds good. Right, okay. Let's close that down. Right, here we go. Preparing, brakes off. Let's start rolling through the throttle. And bringing her up to speed. There we go. Just try it. Of course, should have also on that list should be close windows, but okay, we come up to 100. Tail has come up. 130. Start lifting off. There we go. We're up.
140.
Okay. Landing gear coming up. Okay, let's reduce the throttles a little bit. Wait till we get the landing gear coming up. It's going to take a while. It's not as quick as you'd expect. Flying all modern aircraft. It is coming up, isn't it? Well, there you go. It's a bit better. Right, we come up to 2,000 feet now. Things are going well. You can see it. Tail wheel is up. So the main gear should be up soon. Ooh, clunk, clunk, clunk. That must be it.
Wheels are confirmed up.
Excellent. So we are now landing gear up, ready to roll. So, let's check out where we are going. Our flight navigation log. I should have looked at this earlier, but I've been so concerned about getting everything else done, I actually forgot to set this up. 052. Okay, fine. You can see the buffeting we're getting. This does have an autopilot, but it's one I have a few issues with. It's not bad, it's just I'm not used to it. So we're going to be cruising at 15,000 feet, which is quite high for this old bird, but she should be fine with it. Actually, she used to be up to 30 odd thousand, so yeah, we don't want to put too much strain on the airframe, so we're only going up to whoa, you can feel the buffeting. She's really slow to respond when you fly things like the Airbuses and stuff. See the air buffeting we're getting. There's a lot of cloud around as well. This is going to be a challenge. But we're climbing nicely. We're coming up to 3,000 feet now. We're doing about, I don't know, 500 feet a minute climb, which is nice and easy. There's no point putting too much stress on the old airframe, and we're doing a nice turn as well. We're bringing it round to 050 heading, currently at 150. Oops, we just dipped down a little bit, so we are losing a bit of height.
Captain, we're getting reception from a local radio station.
Oh, okay. Let's tune that in. Wait for my copyright strikes to come on. The airfield behind us over there. So the idea is, as I said earlier, to learn this aircraft through FSX, and that knowledge of the switches, the dials and all this should aid me when I come back to do the next series of B-17 with the old with the crew, which are going to be made up of the subs from YouTube as always. So that's going to be quite exciting. The old radio operators found us some nice music as well. Let's stick our headphones on, which will drown out a bit more of the engine noise, which is nice. Nice insulated headphones. We've got the sun in our face, which is going to be a bit challenging. We're heading east at the moment. Let's just keep our turn slightly. I'm going to go in a northeast direction. Oh, look at this cloud. So with the music going, I think this is probably a good time. What I'll do, I will do the usual on FSX, and we'll cut to some nice scenes, and we'll go into the cruise phase. I'll climb up as I'm going to, and I'll see you in a little while. do a quick check on everything. Cabin temperature's nice and warm. Distance, blah blah blah. Engine 1 is 176 degrees. Okay, engines running appear to be okay. So we need to, when we come into approach and landing, set mixture to auto rich, filters on. That's probably after under 8,000 we need to do that. Turbo to 8. Okay, and the usual. Now we need to pump the brakes as well. So that's the navigation. The nav, I know that this happens to be 10.3. So we drop that to 110.3. So if I also drop that to 110.3, brilliant. Nav 1, brilliant. That is the radio done. But yeah, if you look at the level of cloud, we're definitely going to be having a tricky landing. 3, 4, 5. Okay, turn left, heading 3, 4, 5. There. Acknowledge.
Turn left, heading 3, 4, 5. Boeing Delta Romeo Sierra.
Just going to back off the throttle a little bit. It's going to be a nightmare when we come down into this cloud layer. Right, we're coming up to 10,000 feet now. Under 10,000. Excite, turn to 345. We are turning. We just come off oxygen. One of the things I didn't notice on the where is it? It didn't tell us to start the APU again. Turn left, heading 315. 315, which is there. So we've been given runway 8 at Goose Bay. So yeah, they're obviously sending us round to do a leg before. Oh, we're expediting, don't you worry. Right, we just come down to 9,000. When we hit 8,000, we'll switch the old filters on. Coming to 315 now. It's 8,500 feet we've dropped to. Oh, this cloud is probably about 7,000 feet, it looks like. We'll hit it any minute. It's going to be a nightmare. Turn right, heading 345. Okay, we'll just let the aircraft level out. Then we'll go 3, 4, 5, which is there. We'll make a bank to the right. 8,000 feet, we can switch over to the filters. You'll see the amber lights start to come over there. Maybe. Okay, acknowledge. 045, which is there, and we want to drop down to 2,600. Will do. So 7,000 feet. This cloud is really low, isn't it? Actually, it's much lower than I anticipated. Right, I'm going to put the old turbos up. to 7 at this point.
Visibility out there.
Sorry, I missed that. What? Don't know, missed it. Anyway. Okay. Coming to heading 0, direct north. So we make our way to 045. Got indicated airspeed of just under 200 miles an hour, which is fine. Come up to 6,000 feet. The amber lights are all on there, which is great. I'm going to flick these down to auto rich. We're out of oxygen actually. I think what I had it running. I put it on blink there, but I think I had it on maximum oxygen for a long period of time, which kind of soaked up all the oxygen. So we're probably super high on oxygen right now. Do a quick check on everything. Cabin is a little bit warm, so let's just cool that down a bit. You can see that it says there. Engine 1's 187. Everything else is okay. Cool. Oh, into the cloud. 5,000 feet. Okay, we've got mountains around here, have we? Oh, that's going to be interesting. So let's tune into Goose Bay Radio. Goose Bay Radio. Goose Bay Tower.
Bravo Delta Romeo Sierra is flying 4 miles west inbound ILS, runway 8 approach.
Boeing Foxtrot Bravo Delta Romeo Sierra, Goose Bay Tower, fly straight in, runway 8, altimeter 2980.
Acknowledge.
Straight in, runway 8, Boeing Delta Romeo Sierra.
Now this here is the ILS for the B-17. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure how it works. We've got all this direction finding up here as well. Yeah, and I'm no expert. Oh god, look at this weather. Hopefully we can get below this. Come up to 3,500 feet now, so we've got another 1,000 feet to descend. Hopefully we'll break underneath it. Just going to back off on the old throttles. The ILS is doing something. Not sure what. Okay, we're now coming up to 2.6, which is the we should start to level off now. Unfortunately, we're still in this horrible cloud. God, I can't see anything. It's like a right pea super down there. So you climb to 500 feet and you lose sight of the ground. Oh, there it is. This is really, really nasty. Right, so the airfield should be over ZAR. We're coming now to heading 30. Okay, there's the airfield over there. So we are going to do a bit of a scuff landing, but we just need to get her down. This weather is horrendous. So let's try and bring the speed down a little bit. Need to sit up a bit so we can see the runway over these trees.
140.
Brilliant. We'll bring the speed off. We'll drop the flaps a bit more. There she is.
130.
Never thought I'd see this runway. Right, we got massive runway, so we got all the air in the world to use. Okay. Gently, gently, gently.
100. Flaps up.
Flaps up. We're just dabbing the brakes, slowing her down, slowing her down, slowing her down, slowing her down. Oh, welcome everyone to Goose Bay. I didn't think we were going to make it. Oof. Okay, we got a groan from the engineer there. He didn't like that landing. Everything seems to be okay.
Sir, we should add a bit of throttle.
Now, so this is Charlie Yankee Yankee Romeo Goose Bay. Oh my goodness. We made it. What a look at this P Super. It's horrendous weather here, isn't it? Okay, we can turn the old turbos. The old turbos down to 0. And we'll rattle this old bird to the terminal.
Sir, we should raise our RPM.
Wants us to raise our RPM, that's fine. But yeah, let's switch the landing lights off. I'm coming over to the terminal now. So from here, next time we'll be leaving Goose Bay and we'll be going to Bluey West 1. Indeedy, which is in Greenland, I believe. So that should be quite exciting. Right, so I'll just bring it onto the parking apron here. Whoops. Bit of grass there, we're just going to run over. Didn't see that bit. Kind of split the two. And we'll park her up over here in front of these bays. Fantastic. That shall do her beautifully. Right, let's put the parking brake on. Whoa, that was real nervy old times. Right, let's fuel cut off. Bleed all the fuel out of the engines. Beautiful, we've made it. Now let's get a quick engineer's check. So airframe is now completed, 6 hours and 6.2 hours in the air. Everything seems okay. Inspect. Yeah, we moderate wear. No, there's nothing. Everything is absolutely fine. Everything is absolutely fine. Brilliant. Wear rate fast. Okay. Complete overhaul. No, we don't need to. Everything is looking in good nick. So. We'll leave it there, guys, with the Mary Alice making it to Goose Bay. So that is the first hop on our journey to the UK. As I said, next time will be Louis West 1, and from then we will head towards Reykjavik in Iceland, and then from Reykjavik we'll head over down to the Prestwick in Scotland, and from there we'll then head down to Duxford. So yes, I am learning a lot about this aircraft. One of the things I do need to learn is the ILS, because I'm not really sure how that works, but we can do some reading up before our next flight. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been getting to know the Mary Alice, the B-17, doing the North Atlantic journey as they would have during World War II to stockpile the aircraft into the UK. Yeah, thoughts and comments, leave in the section below. I know it wasn't the best of flights, and we picked a horrible day to land here, didn't we? But, you know, as I say, it was my second ever flight, and I didn't think it was too bad for my second ever flight, so we will get a lot better. I won't have to use the checklists sooner or later. So there's plenty to do. I'll switch the lights off, the beacons off, and the before I go, and we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this, and join me next time for the next part of our journey.